How did site conditions get factored into assessments, i.e. aspect, slope, soil moisture, nutrient regime, threatening factors, water levels, wave erosion, factor into qualitative metrics?
Um, so good question, John. So in terms of qualitative metrics, I mean, what we're looking for is documenting observations of the site, right? So um, ultimately, you're trying to note all those things while you're there, and so they should get incorporated into your thinking about what type of technique is going to work in, say, for a north aspect or a south aspect or steep slope, shallow slope, etc. So it kind of factors in um, to the thinking process. As far as metrics go, um, I don't. You could ultimately rate them on. I mean, that's more of a quantitative, I guess, metric, but you could rate each of them based on the severity. But yeah, I think they're all things that you need to note while you're on site because they do factor into, say, wave erosion is something that we've tried to address, say, for boat wake or wave. So there's wave run up and things. So it does factor into a technique that you'd want to pick. But as far yeah, okay, moving to the next one here. So when planning projects, do you know what are the typical differences in offset ratios between bioengineering works and traditional riprap works? I.e., is it 3 to 1 or 1 to 1? Um, so I guess what you're thinking here is that if you were going to do a traditional riprap work, you might be able to get away with doing a smaller size bioengineering project. Ultimately, I don't know if there's a offset ratio that is out there necessarily, because what you're trying to do is address an erosion problem at the site. So typically oh, sorry, I think I'm reading this wrong now. If you're talking offset ratios in terms of habitat offset, then um, I don't think you get much habitat credit for riprap, but you will get some credit for overhanging vegetation from the riparian vegetation there. So um, I'm not sure if I answered that satisfactorily, but certainly I don't think there's any specific offset or a specific ratio um, publicly available, let's say. But certainly when you're talking with the regulators, then there is a much more perception towards the bioengineering approach than hard engineering. In fact, some projects we've tried to stay a little bit on the harder side of things just due to the issue, and the regulators came back and said, no, you have to use a bioengineering approach in this.